So we now have the titles for all but one of the 13th Doctor's adventures, with the Centenary special, which of course is coming this autumn sometime, being the only episode that we don't currently know the title of. We know Legend of the Sea Devils for the Easter special, and obviously Eve of the Daleks for the New Year's Day special, and everything that came before that as well. So there has been some speculation about what this episode could be titled based on past precedents, notably within two sort of areas, really. So firstly, within the Chibnall era itself, a lot of the returning monster stories, not in Series 11, because obviously there weren't any, but from Series 12 onwards, Fugitive of the Jadoon onwards, basically, a lot of those titles have taken the format of something of and then the returning monster. So Fugitive of the Jadoon, Ascension of the Cybermen, Revolution of the Daleks, Village of the Angels. All those stories have, number one, featured the monster in the title, and then they've also kind of followed that format of something of the monster in question. So people are sort of thinking that perhaps the Centenary special, because obviously it's going to feature the Master, people are sort of thinking that might follow the same format and be a something of the Master story or title or whatever. Which sounds credible, and it would be nice to see, because we haven't had that at all actually in the whole of Doctor Who, to my memory, certainly on TV at least. Then there's also another rule, viewing this story as the regeneration story, which obviously it is. According to previous regeneration stories from the revived era of Doctor Who, with the exception of the Series 1 finale, Bad Wolf Parting Other Ways, every other regeneration story has featured time in the title. So we've had the end of time, we've had the time of the Doctor, and we've had Twice Upon a Time, most recently for Peter Capaldi. So those are the two rules we've sort of got to go on, if anything we've got to go on. I mean, Chris Chibnall is probably aware of those rules and of those precedents, but that's not to say he's going to actually follow them necessarily. I mean, he might do. I think, from the marketing point of view and everything, it would be nice, particularly for these three 2022 specials, to have three stories that follow, something of the something formats, because obviously we've had Eve of the Daleks and Legend of the Sea Devils as well. So to have another title in that vein would make sense. And also, like I say, the fanish part of Chris Chibnall's brain is probably aware of the fact that time has featured in the most recent regeneration stories, the past three stories. And so, yeah, again, he might not necessarily follow that formula and that format. For all we know, they could do something completely different with it, but it's something that I think they'll at least have taken into consideration. And so, I think the most common suggestion I've seen going around for what the Centenary could be titled, if it followed both those rules, is something like The Time of the Master, or The Master of Time. Because then you've got your master in there, your monster, your villain, whatever, antagonist, and you've got that of the format as well. So I recently took to Twitter to ask you guys what you thought of this, what you thought that the Centenary special could be titled, and here are some of your suggestions, some of my favourites that I received. Shadow of the Doctor from Edward. We have an unearthly amount of content from Max, very nice. Joking aside, it would be really cool to see the word unearthly appear in the Doctor Who title again for the first time since the very first episode. That'd be really cool. I mean, obviously, we sort of got it with the Timeless Children. It's sort of a similar sort of format. Unearthly Child, the Timeless Children, or the Timeless Child, it's a similar sort of thing. But if they wanted to go one step further, that would be really cool. We have Chicken Korma of the Crotons from 2 Million Like Head. Love it, in which the Crotons, in surprise reveal, ally with the Master to subjugate the planet by covering everything in Indian food. I mean, that is a Centenary special we all deserve. Make it happen. We have got A Matter of Time from Charlie, like it. A Century from Doctor Who cover story again. That's quite classy. That'll be cool. We've got Lords and Masters from Cleo. I like that. If the Cybermasters were back, Cleo was saying that that would make a lot of sense, because obviously they are part-time Lord. So yeah, that'd be cool. The Woman Who Fell to Doctor from TARDIS Time, along with a load of other ones. The Earth Who Fell to Woman. I mean, if they wanted to go down that route of doing a completely bonkers sort of redux of the very first 13th Doctor episode title, then yeah, okay. Division from Blaine, yeah, again, nice and classy. An Unearthly Time Lord from Nerd Person. Yeah, and another one to feature the word unearthly in the title. That would be very nice. A very nice nod to the very first Doctor Who story, like you say. The Woman Who Ran Out of Time from Sonny Witt. I like that. Again, like a little tribute to the very first 13th Doctor episode with a little twist on it. Oh gosh, I mean, it's a bit sort of depressing, but never know. It's got the word time in there. It ticks that box, so who knows? Time and Again, The Beef with Beans, Time of the TARDIS, Doom of the Doctor, all from Iggy. Some cool suggestions there. The Master's Dalek Plan from Macra Appreciation Society. Yeah, it's again another spin on a classic Doctor Who title this time round, the Dalek's Master Plan, obviously. In fact, apparently Big Finish have already used that title themselves for an audio adventure, and yeah, don't blame them, it's a very neat title. Revenge of the Pating, says Whovians Unite. Yeah, absolutely, why not? Division of the Doctor, that's from Doctor Who. Yeah, that would be good. I mean, a couple of other people have sort of suggested having the word division in the title, which obviously hasn't happened so far. A bit weird. So yeah, that'd be nice if they could sort of tie that in somehow. Century of the Master from Oscar Groucho. Yeah, I like that. I mean, if it was to sort of tie into the whole idea of the BBC being 100 years old, maybe like the Master goes on some mission, like back to the origins of the BBC and tries to sort of make everything go topsy-turvy and ingratiates himself as Waris Hussein. That would be a fantastic way to tie in an adventure in space and time, in which, of course, Sacha Dhawan played Waris Hussein. A Reckoning with Time from Actually Alice. Yeah, that would be nice, taking cues from that scene in Vanquishers, I guess, there. Yeah, I think, along those lines, it would be more fitting than ever to actually have time in this particular episode title. Given all the stuff we had in Flux about like this battle between time and space and time sort of being personified, I still maintain that perhaps some sort of personification of time is what's ultimately going to kill the 13th Doctor off. I mean, that's probably something for another video, really, but yeah. Multiverse of Mykeness suggests some good ones there. Day of the Master, Destiny of the Time Lord, Master of the Fates, Division of the Timeless, the Division of Time, Time of the Division, the Time Master, the Master of Time, all these different variations, basically, of the words Master and Time and stuff. Love it. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Centenary special is literally hiding there in plain sight, to be honest. You've given me enough options there. A few there from Alexandra as well. A Tale of Two Time Lords. Yeah, I absolutely love that. I don't know if they'd use it for this particular story, but they should definitely use it for some story someday if they don't, because that is a fantastic title. And yeah, that's basically it, really. I mean, lots of other people suggested the two options that I originally gave, the Time of the Master or the Master of Time or whatever, or variations of that sort of thing. So I'd definitely say that's still the most popular sort of fan suggestion. And like I say, whether or not they will actually go down that route, it's anyone's guess. They could just do something completely different. But yeah, it doesn't sound too sort of unlikely them to call it something along those lines. There's something with time in the title, possibly with Master in the title as well, and following that sort of something of the something format. But what do you think the Centenary special either should or could be titled? What do you think is the most likely? Do you think any of the suggestions here hold weight, or do you think it's going to be something completely different? Whatever the case, please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you've got to say. Please do like the video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also please consider following my brand new Patreon page, where for £1.50 a month you can get your name featured at the end of every single video that I make. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.